Hello, everyone. My name is Vernice, and this is my podcast, Speak Up. Shout out to my new listeners out there. For those of you that don't know, the mission statement for this podcast is we'll use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self love and respect. So, this is the place for self love and respect. Hope you guys' October is going well. Time is just flying. So, yeah, I'm very excited for today's episode. I have a very beautiful and dope guest. You guys give it up for China, host and founder of The China Show. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me, girl.
Yes, thank you for coming on. I had to get you on here.
Most
Yes.
definitely.
Welcome to Speak Up JV.
Yes,
so,
yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is China. I'm a media producer, media host, interviewer, event interviewer, business owner, model. I do so many things. I'm a multifaceted woman out here, but to sum it up, media host. I do a lot of stuff.
Girl, you out there doing your thing.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
So what got you into media modeling and into the different hats that you wear?
I think what got me into it, I've always been into just being on camera and wanting to put together different productions. If it wasn't, with my friends, my cousin, anybody that I was around, everybody knew China, when we're hanging out with China, she's going to have us doing some dances, some choreo, acting out different things. Those are just things that I've always have found as fun. And I decided to go into that as a career. I went to school at Cal State San Bernardino and I got my degree in broadcast journalism. Then after that, I jumped right into radio. And from there, I started my company, my media company, and we just been producing a lot of different segments for different brands and covering a lot of events and concerts.
Oh my goodness, I love that. And I must say, I admire how you're like, you know what, I'm gonna create my own opportunity, and I think sometimes that's what we have to do,
Yes.
especially in this world. And I remember too, I went to a panel. I think it was a Revolt Summit, I want to say, and they were talking about how can you expect like someone in a higher up position to work with you if you don't have
Right.
anything to offer? No, you're not coming with a portfolio of some type. So sometimes
Right.
you got to take that dive first. So I love that.
Yes, most definitely. I always my motto is if you can't find the job, create it. You know what I mean? Like use up your God-given abundance, and just be consistent at it and just create something for yourself.
I love that. Sometimes you have to create your own blueprint. I think that's the beauty of it.
Yes, most definitely.
So, diving a little deeper, tell us a little bit about the China Show and China Show Productions.
Okay. Wow. Where do I even start? It's so interesting because I'm always the interviewer. You know what I mean? So I'm always hearing the stories. Oh, everybody else's response when people ask me about
you in the hot seat now.
My show is me. My name is China. So my show is me. The ups and downs and who I am. That is my show. It's my personality. It's my authenticity. It is my voice. It is my platform to give others a voice and highlight others in many different ways. So I would say that's pretty much the China Show. The China Show is forever evolving, forever growing, forever changing. But at this moment, it's just a safe spot, safe space for artists, people of all walks to come and just, chat with me a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed you be everywhere. I'm like, oh, she here. And that's amazing. You're taking your brand in different places. So what's your favorite thing about it?
I think my favorite thing about what I have created is it's always different. I'm a very spontaneous person and I love doing different things all the time. So with media, we get so many different opportunities to just talk to so many different walks of life. So many opportunities to go to a lot of different events, as you know. So I really like that aspect of it. I love traveling. I just love meeting new people, to be honest. I'm such a people person. So it's just been a blessing to just have this show and be able to just get to know others more. I would say.
And speaking of being a people person, I've seen you've had, so many guests on your platform, which is very impressive. But if you could interview anyone on your platform, who would it be and why?
You know what? Probably. I love Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono. I don't know if you know who Yoko Ono is, but she was married to John Lennon, and she was just. I don't know. She's an artist. She's so profound. She does. I resonate with her in so many different ways. With just like creating. She's very unique. She was always outspoken. So I would just love to know more about her story and just more about like the Beatle days and how she has evolved into the many different dimensions that she has reached within a woman as being a woman.
Okay, look, go ahead and manifest it. Look, we put it out there.
Yes, you love me some Yoko Ono.
I love that. And being in media, having your own brand, we know sometimes it can get hard sometimes, and I think sometimes we have to focus on what our why is. So, with that being said, what motivates you to keep going when it does start to feel challenging at times?
What keeps me going? I would say pretty much myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm always a person who I'm a strong believer in God, and I believe through God anything is possible, so when these challenges happen, because by default there's always going to be challenges happening within this field, I just stay strong within my faith and proving it to myself that I can do anything, and the Lord orders my steps. So yeah. Did I answer that right? I don't know.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
Okay.
No matter wrong, that's your answer. I love it. But tonight's episode, you guys, in honor of this amazing creative, is Attention Matters. So we're going to be talking about giving attention to your creative side and pouring into your brand. So I haven't done an episode like this in a minute, so I'm very excited. So let's get into the Ask Up question of the night. So those of you listening out there, please comment your response to this question. I'll always go back and read the comments. I'll hear what you guys have to say. I'm going to go ahead and answer the question first. But tonight's actual question of the night is, how do you give energy to your creative side? And I love to write, so that's one way. And I love music. So I feel like once I, pick a certain playlist to listen to, that's my way of like tapping into my creative side, because I feel like music is a big part of me. So what about you, China? How do you give energy to your creative side?
Recently, I actually started writing, so I have been like tapping into like my writing aspects. But I'm an active person. Like I love roller skate. I love roller skating. I love going to the gym. I love taking my walks. But when I'm doing those activities, I can get really present within myself, and then that's kind of when like my creativity starts flowing the most. Or when I'm just like around good people, good energy. Yeah, I think that's, and actually too at nighttime too, that's my creative flow is like when I'm taking my night shower or my long drives, sitting in traffic, listening to good music. I feel like that's when like my best thoughts happen.
I love nighttime. Like everyone's asleep and the world is asleep, and you're just like,
right. No distractions, just you and yourself. Like, yeah. That's when it forms. I'm like, speak through me, God.
Yeah, that is a great answer, by the way. I love it. So you guys, let's get into the topic. So let's talk about the importance of not being ashamed of your creative side. I believe God made us unique for a reason. I believe we all have gifts, whether that is teaching, it is being creative, it's art, whatever it may be, doing acts of service, all that can be part of your creative side. And honestly, I feel more happier when I tap into that. I feel like that actually keeps you going. I feel like, what's life without passion? I notice when I don't feed that part of my life, it starts to affect my mental health perfectly. So it's nothing wrong being ashamed, showing who you are and embracing it. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I feel like our creativity definitely makes us unique. We're getting to this later, but we definitely are in a very like copycat time.
Yes.
Don't want to dig deep and figure out who they are. And I feel like when we do that, we're actually ignoring ourselves. So that's the beauty of tapping into it.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And so never mind. I had a similar question to the Ask Up question. Let me see. But you know what? We already kind of.
Wait, did I?
Huh?
Excuse me?
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm going in. Yeah, so out of the things that you named, so I asked you like, how do you tap into your creative side? What's your favorite way to tap into it? So out of those things you listed, which one you find the most like, this is my favorite way?
I think my favorite way is when I'm connecting to God and when I'm like in like deep prayer or like deep meditation. Just like sitting down in silence. I think that has to be my favorite way because my soul feels so just full after, and I feel like in order for me to create the best, I have to be in like the best mental space. You know what I mean? I have to be mentally clear in order for like what I'm trying to put out into this world to be received the way I wanted it or what I was thinking in my head. Yeah, so that has to be like my favorite way for the most part.
That's huge because I think of like an artist when they're doing a painting. It's like they have to have that clear intention of what it is they're trying to create for it to come
Yeah,
together. So it definitely
right.
goes hand in hand. And creativity with our brand, any brand that you're building, it makes you stand out. So think about a special logo you have, types of
Right.
photos that you take. Like I noticed, like on your profile, you have amazing creative photos of yourself. Where you're. I feel like we're learning more about you through those
Yeah.
photos. That you're
Yes.
in. So,
Yes.
in your opinion, what makes the China show stand out?
The China show, I think it stands out because I think it's just truly who I am. You know what I mean? It's authentic, like it's like myself. So I think everyone individually stands out as a person. But I just happen to stand out because I'm just being my true self, So I think what I put out there is just like a true representation of who I am. Of course, it's not everything. I don't display like all aspects of myself because I think some parts need to be sacred to who you are, just for you. But yeah, I feel like I try to do my best of being, authentically me.
I love that. Like, I definitely feel that way about SpeakUpJV. I feel like I'm just being me. Even when you meet me in person, I'm talking just like this. And I think that's the beauty when you could create a brand, just like a hairstylist. Like if they have someone in their chair, they're just being themselves while doing the person's hair. So that's really
Exactly.
huge.
Right. And I think people receive it more. You know what I mean? It just seems more genuine. You know what I mean? So I think when a person is in their most genuine truth, I think people can really see that and feel that type of energy, which makes people drawn to it.
No, definitely. And you remember, y'all, do not ignore that creative side. I feel like when I ignore my creative side, I'm reminded in so many ways, like, oh, you need to tap into this. And
I know. I feel like
burning.
depressed.
Like,
Right.
I need to go, whatever that may be. Like, if I go without listening to music, I'm like, okay, something ain't right. Or if I go without this show, I'm like, no. So,
most definitely.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. You have some great answers to that. You guys, it is now time for the Tweet Up segment. I know I like to excerpt, we call it. A lot of good feedback on this is pour into your brand and watch what happens. So like I said, tonight's episode is titled Attention Matters. So are you giving attention to your brand? I had to be real with myself. I feel like, sometimes we set certain expectations, for a business or a brand, but then sometimes you have to hold yourself accountable. Have I been giving it the attention or the energy that it needs for it to grow that big? Or is there areas where I can work on it? Just like a fitness journey, have I been doing those things to get to that, goal that we have? So to grow a brand, you have to give it attention. And honestly, what you focus on grows and what you don't focus on, diminishes. So it's definitely the same thing. And I'm really big on consistency. I think that definitely does a lot more, especially, than, I don't matter. It doesn't matter what connections you have. Are you being consistent about it?
Most definitely.
So, any thoughts on like giving your brand attention or anything like that, or consistency?
Yes. Consistency is like the biggest law, rule, key that I live by. I think I discovered that many years ago through college. Like being able to consistently focus on something long enough is a skill, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I was able to even do my brand is because I had so much consistency of being in school, turning in my, making sure I reached the deadlines, making sure, like, the responsibilities of all of that. So when it came time for me to be a boss, I took, those elements of consistency, like, no, I got to do this. I got to have this done on time. I got to, boom, boom, boom. And I've always tried to put myself in opportunities where I'm at least doing my craft like twice a week. So I told myself, like maybe 2 years ago, I was like, I really want to become a better model. So I was like, okay, I need to shoot every week. So I shoot 4 times a month consistently so I can work on it, and I just get better and better at it. When I wanted to become a better interviewer, I started an IG live series, and I was interviewing artists like 3 times a week, at one point, but I was just getting so good just at my skill. When I wanted to start hosting, I was like, okay, maybe I should start throwing shows or find shows that I can just practice my skill and always be out there. So I think I've always found ways to give my brand attention like that. And when there's nothing absolutely going on, I'm like, okay, let me, find ways that I can up it up a little bit or get more creative, when I'm disconnected and not giving my brand attention, because again, my brand is myself, the China Show, I feel like you said, I feel depleted. I feel like, because this is my purpose in life. So when you're not like watering your purpose, you feel off and you feel it. So I just know in order to keep me balanced as a human being and who I am and to keep this brand going, I have to pour into it all the time, no matter what, non-negotiable.
That is a bar right there. Look, y'all, she out here speaking up. I hope y'all taking notes. And like going off of that, someone wise, I was at a seminar, said, if you treat your brand like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. And it even goes down to the many minute things that we don't think about, like, when you schedule an interview, are you communicating with the person? Those little things that matter, like don't be that person like, I'm gonna book this guest and then you don't follow up with them or make it happen or be communicative, and then also too, I learned the importance of the baby steps. I remember when we first started this podcast, me and my best friend years ago, I've never had experience interviewing people, talking on stage, doing things. How can I want those big opportunities if I've never did the many things, that got me there? And it's like now years later, all the experience has led me to where if I got called, to be on stage or to host a panel or to interview like a huge guest, I'm equipped for it because of the baby steps. So I think that's the beauty of consistency as well, because it also teaches you, as you're being consistent, you're actually stronger for the big opportunities. So
yes, absolutely.
That is huge. And also too, y'all, be intentional about what you give your time to. So I think, when you are an entrepreneur, you wear many different hats. What are you giving your time to? So
yes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
giving your time. I just want to say just one more thing about giving time. One thing, like, as like just being an entrepreneur and running a business, I do not have time for the, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm over here working on my dreams. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very intentional with my time, who I give my time to. And I think that's also another, part of giving my brand attention. Just be very and intentional.
I love that you said that, because my Twitter headline is don't ask me what I'm doing. Like, I honestly hate that question.
Oh, really? Yeah, because you know what I'm doing.
Right. It's okay to ask me once in a while, but if it's all like, those people that just, what you up to? What you got going on? It's like, clearly if you got time just to sit and ask that all day, nothing going on. So. I love that. It is now time, y'all, for the Life Up segment. So the Life Up is when I take the topic and I relate it to an issue in today's world. So tonight's Life Up is brands lacking originality, trying to duplicate someone else's creativity, failing to tap into themselves to be authentic, and social media's role in this. So these are huge ones. We kind of touched up on it earlier, but honestly, if you want to start a brand, please be original. And I'm not saying like the whole bread example. Yeah, if you want to start a bread company, do that. But have your own two-step to it. That's what I'm saying here. Whether it comes to the logo, how the bread tastes, because I don't care who you try to duplicate, the flavor will not taste the same. Like, I don't care what you do.
Not at all.
Like, anytime 2 people could cook the same thing, it's not going to taste the same. I don't care what you do. So it's definitely something to look into. And I think, my show focuses on self-love and inner peace. It goes with knowing who you are, to really be original, to be authentic, and to know, because when something's your calling and like you said, you really want to do it, it's so naturally just be authentic.
Yeah. It just flows through you.
Exactly.
Those are good topics.
Yeah, so these are like, little issues of today, and social medias, I think, is a huge one. Think about it. We're all in the open, putting ourselves out there, putting our business out there and things like that. And it's easy for strangers to even duplicate you that you have no idea are doing it. Because I've heard stories of like upcoming entrepreneurs and their stuff being taken from people who are already up there. And you have no clue that the smaller business started it.
And like you said, it never hits. It never hits though.
No,
but still, like, it's such a crazy. I mean, I love social media. Social media is awesome. My brand, survives on social media. But yeah, those are things that I'm even finding better ways to protect myself. And what do you have any tips of I don't know, like, what are the best ways of stopping that? Because I'm not as big as I want to be, but what if there's someone that's bigger that can like take the idea or something? But I'm actually getting more into like learning about like the trademarking and just educating myself on how to protect myself as a business, and getting all those like licensings in place and stuff like that. But yeah.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. Those are huge components. And I think too, like being cautious of who we share our visions with. I'm really big on like just having it done. Like a lot of people don't even have to know what I'm working on. You'll just see it come out when it's ready. The few people that you talk to, of course. But yeah,
I live by that. I never share my vision until it's actually done. Like, because I also feel like I don't want anyone else's energy, like messing up, what I'm really trying to like put out there into the universe, putting out there to God. Not even based off of someone taking the idea, but like, I don't want like your doubts or, just, I don't want your input on it at all. You'll see when it comes out. I used to be like a person that would share. I was like an oversharer, I would always, I was just excited about it. But I didn't realize like one person's like smirk or frown, like how deeply that might have changed my direction of, oh, okay, maybe that isn't cool, or maybe I should do it this way, so in order to be as authentic with what I'm trying to do, I just, fully just try to perfect myself. My body and soul by myself.
And I like the importance of just going ahead in first, because I feel like, think about doing something new is already scary. So it's like the last thing we need is someone else like confirming that.
Exactly.
Oh, it is scary. Never mind. Like
I don't need it.
Yeah, so I feel you. Like I used to be like that too, like trying to get everyone to put it out there when everyone to know, and then it's like it slows you down. I'm like, okay, so I'm always do a part. How do we fix this? So I think we named some good things already, like just as far as like you said, protecting yourself, keep it quiet, and then finding yourself. That's a way to be, knowing who you are and what you want.
Yes.
So yeah, I know you. You've interviewed at many festivals. You've interacted with many artists and things like that. So, what's a networking tip that you would give to a media platform? Who's looking to, do interviews at different vendors or meet different guests and things like that.
I would say the biggest tip is just to get out there. If you want to be like a concert and a festival interviewer, tap into your local city first. That's how I started. I would go to all the local shows and I would start off in my community. And then I would, that's how I built it. That's how I got good. I would interview all my friends, you know what I mean? I would go out and support, other, I would go out and support, just all the local shows for the most part. So just getting out there and starting there, connecting with promoters, being consistent, I think that's what a lot of festivals and concerts, they want to see that you've already kind of grown something. So yeah, you can always start in your hometown, backyard, start in a community first and take it from there.
Oh, I love that. Was amazing advice. Y'all better be taking notes. It is now time for the drink up segment. If you're listening,
okay, you making that water look good. Okay.
Water. It is now time for the drink up water segment. So my water fact for tonight is drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water a day has tons of health benefits, including softer, smoother, and healthier lips. So y'all know it's getting
Oh,
cold. Let's keep these lips luscious. Drink your
yes.
water, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, drink
I
that.
love water. I love
I love
water.
it.
I drink. That's
That'll-
pretty much all I drink. Like I'm not like a soda person. I'm not a juice
Mm-mm.
person. Love
Love
me some
water.
water. Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Oh, see, let's keep the skin glowing, all that.
yeah. Everything. I feel depleted when I don't drink water.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, and I know it's getting cold, y'all. So still don't forget to drink water.
Facts.
Now back to the episode. So, this is probably advice, I'm asking advice that you would give to your early self or a person who's just starting a platform. What's a piece of advice you would give for that person who's starting out?
I think have grace with yourself and know that you are on your right timing and your right path. Like I think about like a lot of different things like years ago that I was really upset that I didn't get this opportunity, or I was really upset that I couldn't interview this artist. But I don't even think at that time I was even really ready for that, or ready to even take that on for it to be received the way I wanted it to be received. So I think just having grace with yourself and knowing that you're on, just God's timing, as long as you're consistent, as long as you are still loving it, as long as you are passionate about it, just keep going. And also just be nice to everyone, because who you see at the top, you're going to see coming down the bottom. How does that quote go? I don't know. Just treat everybody with respect, because those are going to be your peers that are going to be able to help you out, come together. I think we're a lot stronger in groups. And at first, I used to be that person that was just like not wanting to be a part of the community. Like I was just to myself in a lot of different ways. But now I'm just like, no, like it's great to hit up some of my media homegirls and talk about some of these issues, or pull up to events together. Like I'm loving the aspect of, just coming together and getting to know your peers and being just as supportive as they've been for you.
And that's amazing advice too, because it's like, for example, me and you, just because we do similar things, that doesn't mean we don't have to. You know what I mean? I love that we could collab on the episode and talk and get to know each other and see how we can help each other out.
Yeah.
So much power in community and collab. I don't know why why people want to pin against each other. Oh, well, I do this too, and it's like, let's just all work together.
Yeah, let's just all work together. And like you said, and that took me a lot of time to realize, because I think when I wasn't as confident in what I did, or being around like people that did something similar, I would be like, oh, competition. Like there's no competition. Sorry, my little light went out.
Yeah.
There's no competition when you are authentically yourself. No one can ever beat you, and there's no better way to support others. Like I feel so amazing supporting others, and I love getting the support back. And I think that's something that keeps me going within this, is the support from my other media peers.
That is such a bar right there. And remember, y'all, your creative side requires you to tap more into yourself. When I say that, there's nothing wrong with solitude. Honestly, sometimes you need to sit with yourself and figure out what you like. So I just realized I'm liking painting sips. I didn't know I like to paint. Like I was sitting there, I'm like, this actually does. So I'm gonna start getting some canvases and painting little photos. But that took me tapping into myself, slowing down from the world, and just standing still and doing something different. I think we're always in this fast pace that we don't give ourselves time. And I think too, taking the time to heal your inner child. That's a good one. Was there a cartoon that you liked as a child, a video game? Sometimes it's okay to sit and go to the park or do something you liked as a child,
Yes, I'm all about that. Being childlike, not childish,
Yes, like you on the skates like that. I love that. It brings back those memories when I go roller skating,
Yes, I still remember that girl. I know my childhood girl would be proud of who I am right now, but It's very important to, like you said, cater to that side. And I also think like when I'm in like doing activities like that and catering to my inner child, I feel like that's where a lot of my ideas and creative side also comes from, because as a kid I felt like I believed I could accomplish and do anything, so when I step into that type of energy, it's almost the same thing that's like channeling, like, girl, you can do it. You can do it. Yes. You can fly.
You can jump off the wing.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I think as adults, it's important to keep that spark, or at least a piece of the optimism, with it. So that's amazing. Yes. So, what is your favorite positive affirmation to say to yourself?
My favorite positive affirmation to say to myself right now has to be everything works out for me and I'm the luckiest girl in the whole wide world. Oh my gosh.
Those are, I've never heard those ones before. Okay. Like speak life. I'm big on like speak life into yourself. So those are great.
Yeah. When the smallest thing happens for me, like I have to take that moment and be like, I am the luckiest girl in the whole wide world. And I feel like every time I say that, it just gets bigger and bigger. And I really believe it, like I literally get everything that I want.
Because I tell myself. Walking like you're talking. I love that. All right, you guys, it is now time for the Poet Up segment. So as I mentioned before, y'all know I like to write poetry, so this holds me accountable. So I'm going to share a quote or two from one of my poems. This is from my poem, Strength. Hold yourself into a wonderful piece of art because you are a beautiful artist and there's no doubt about it. Don't lose yourself in this world because a lot of things don't get found. Be the starting point that keeps positive energy flowing around. So I think that actually goes to tonight's episode, that poem actually. I didn't realize it.
Yes, that's beautiful. I got to tap into your poetry, girl.
Oh, okay. See, like, I'm like, okay, I got to write some more.
Yeah, I need to tap into your poetry. Okay, I love that. I love that.
I appreciate it. It is, and it takes a lot for me to even say it on here too, believe it or not.
Really? Oh my gosh, yeah, no, that was beautiful.
Thank you. I'm really big on like doing little challenges that make you hold yourself accountable to do it. Because I feel like once you're in a bar, you're like, okay, I gotta hit it now. So thank you. Appreciate y'all listening. It is now time for the show up segment. This is the show up segment. So you're out there listening, please answer this question. I go back and read the comments. So how did y'all show up for yourself this week? So the way I showed up for myself this week, how did I show up for myself this week? Ooh, you know what? Oh, I had some family time this week, just like no phone family time too. Like put the phone away, enjoy it, being mindful of the moment, not thinking about other issues. I feel like, I've been reflecting a lot ever since my cousin passed a few months ago about like how when you sometimes like I'll be with family, but my mind's everywhere else. And it's like, how many times have we spent time with family, but our mind was somewhere else? That's anyone in general. So I've been learning the importance of like, whoever I'm hanging with, whether it's a family member, a friend, or whatever, be intentional and enjoy the full mindfulness of it. So I feel like when you do that, when you're around someone you love and care about, you're showing up for yourself as well. When you're showing up for them. That's how I showed up for myself this week. So China, how did you show up for yourself this week?
I did something similar. You know what? I have been hanging out with my family a lot, and I think 34 or 35 days alcohol free. So I wanted to go 30 days, but then I just been loving like this new like outlook and clarity on life, where I'm like, maybe I might just go to the end of the year, not saying that I won't drink forever, but definitely I'm loving like this side of sobriety. So with that, like I have been like just more present with everything in my life. I didn't realize not like I was like drinking a lot or anything, but like just like being on the weekends and drinking and then having like that brain fog carrying on to like that Monday, that Tuesday, where, I could be, more present, you know what I mean? Or just like more in tune with my family. So yeah, I think that's how I've been showing up. I bought some new real estates. I started a roller skating group for just like some girls that I know at the roller skating rink. So like
Mhm.
I showed up for myself by like kind of putting that together and
So
orchestrating that.
cool.
I love to do. So outside of like all this media stuff, because my life is so consumed with my show, I love, just being able to pour into like my other sides where it's not the China show. So
Mhm.
yeah, just catering into my skating and family.
Oh my God, sounds great and healing. I love that. And I like to ask all my guests the fun question. So your fun question is, what's your favorite song to get ready to? So you fit on, get stuff together. What do you like to bump to feel good?
I'm so hardcore hip hop. Like you wouldn't look at me and realize that. I don't know, but like I listen to straight up just Griselda, like Freddie Gibbs, Boldy James, like Bunny the Butcher. Like I listen to like that hustle music because I feel like I'm
Mhm.
always like on a hustle. So like when I'm getting ready and I'm like turning up, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to, like. So that's my type of music. Also like some Sauce Waka getting ready. It just depends. It's some reggae. I'm really into
Oh,
psychedelic rock too. It just literally depends on like my shuffle for that day.
mhm.
Yeah.
You're like,
I
I'm
kind of
here. Yeah, I got different moods too. Depends on the type of getting ready. I feel
yeah.
that. Okay, great answers, you guys. It is now time for the wrap up segment. So the wrap up segment, how does this relate to self-love? Self-love is loving yourself enough, loving your brand enough to pour into it and to give it attention. We like our family, like our friends. We're giving them attention, but what about your brand or the things you want to do, your passions? That's a part of self-love is too, going after what you want, giving it time and attention.
Yes.
So, China, how do you practice self-love?
I practice self-love by I realize when like I practice self-love by just taking care of myself. And that includes like getting my nails, just things that I like to do. Like I love I'm a girly girl. I love getting my nails done. I love having my hair done. I love going to the spas. I love just those types of things. I don't know. It just waters my soul. I practice self-love by being dedicated to a very strict food discipline. I work out 5 times a week. No, not like all the time. So yeah, that's like my self-love, like just being disciplined with myself and knowing that like I have to pour into myself in order to get like the best results out of myself. So making sure that I never neglect just different parts that I really like or I really need, for
Mhm.
my self-love.
Okay, thank you for sharing. And the last and final question that I like to ask all my guests too is, what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for my light and my aura. Like, I want to be remembered for how I made other people feel,
Mhm.
and I hope like I always make people feel good, because I get so much energy and I get so much light from a lot of different people. I attract so many good people, you know what I mean? Like in my life, I've been thankful for that. So I just want to be remembered, yeah, for just treating people good with respect, and be remembered for actually like listening to them, like making them feel like heard as a person, as a human being.
Well, I must say you're already doing it. So yes. Well,
Thank
and
you.
remember, you guys, there's only one you. Embrace it, and your creative side is a part of you. So don't ignore it. That's a part of you when you ignore. Just like don't ignore your happy side, don't ignore your sad side. It's all a part of us.
Yes.
So yes, that's the thought I want you guys to go to leave with for tonight. So before we go, Charlie, can you shout your information out? Where can people find you? Tap in, book, all
Yes,
that.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, so you guys can find all of my content at thechinashowproductions.com, down to all my sit downs, all my IG live interviews, all my festival coverage. I may start to add like my modeling pictures on there.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing a lot more of those. So that might be a little tab like on my website. Tap in. Of course, you can find me at the China Show. And then if you want to get a little bit more personal into who I am, catch me at China, Tokyo, Japan. Um, And I've been getting more into TikTok, so follow me on The China Show at TikTok, y'all.
Okay, look, y'all, she laid it all out. Make sure you guys tap in to our amazing content. I appreciate you coming on. It's definitely been a pleasure. It's been nice getting to know you a little more and learning your story. I'm like, woo.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. And I just loved being on here. And actually, yeah, I feel like we've been meaning to connect. You know, like I knew we were going to connect at some point, but I love this as an introduction. And I love your show. I love like all the different segments that you have. And you're such a great interviewer, great speaker. And I also want to tap more into your poetry.
Thank you so much. And likewise, I love everything. I want to hear some of your poetry now that you're talking about.
I need to step it up or something. Yeah, because what you gave me, I was like, oh.
Yes, and you keep doing great things, girl. You're doing it. Yes,
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all all tapping in. Make sure y'all tap into China show as well. You can catch SpeakUpJV every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Follow at SpeakUpJV on Twitter and on Instagram. My personal is at Vernisa. That's V as in Victor, ERNISA. I love y'all. Tell y'all friends about SpeakUpJV, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.